Hey horror fans, thanks for joining me for this review of Countdown. Alright, cast and crew information down below, and no need to count down. I will read the plot from IMDb right now, and then we'll get started. When a nurse downloads an app that claims to predict the moment a person will die, it tells her she only has 3 days to live. With the clock ticking and a figure haunting her, she must find a way to save her life before time runs out. Yes, the clock is ticking here. Alright, so this one was a recent movie, 2019. I think it's one of these movies that kind of popped up out of nowhere. I don't remember hearing a ton about it before they started releasing the trailers and information for it. I don't know if they tried to sneak it in there or what. But, so I finally got a chance to go back and catch it. Trying to catch up on what I've missed from 2019, and this was one of them. And to start, I think it's very easy to see, once you get into this one as another version of, I guess, Final Destination. Um, you know, Even Final Destination, in a way, you could say may have taken stuff from other places. But to me, I kind of, when I see stuff like this, I always uh, use, I guess, Final Destination as the default here. And this is just another one of them. This is kind of another version of it. Um, Give a reason for something out there in the world to kill you, especially if you don't follow the rules, or follow, if you cheat death in a way, per se. That's kind of how it is in Final Destination. If you guys are, hopefully you guys are familiar with Final Destination. Basically, if you've cheated death and you were supposed to die in a certain instance, death will eventually come back and catch you somewhere down the road. And that's kind of how it is here in this movie. If you cheat the app, you're gonna die. You're just not gonna escape it. So basically, this movie doesn't waste too much time. Gets off to start with a bunch of teens at a table, and one of them brings up this app. They all decide, hey, it's a good idea. Let's all download it and see who's gonna live the longest here. So of course, this app basically is predicting your death. Gives you a countdown to how many years, days, and minutes you have, and seconds to your death. So they go around the room. Everybody seems to have some time except for one girl. One girl's time is very short. Basically, it's going to be that night. So she's supposed to drive home with her boyfriend there, but he's had quite a lot to drink. I mean, both of them have been drinking, but she decides, especially since she's a little creeped out by this app, that she doesn't want to get in this car, because it's very easy to predict that, hey, this car is going to crash and that's going to be how she dies. Seems pretty logical there. So instead, she decides to walk home, and yeah, she still dies. Not really spoiling anything here. It's early in the movie. Let's just say there's something in the wind there that's following her, and basically kills her. What is kind of yeah, it is. I was just checking to see if it was PG-13 or not, and it is. Yeah, so what's kind of disappointing here is there's just not a lot of blood and guts here. It's just you can basically see her whisked off and thrown in the air, and then straight down to the floor. Pretty rough, but you don't really get to see much, so a little disappointing there. And so what you find out also is that the boyfriend did, as predicted, crash in the car. But again, here she tried to cheat death, because actually she was supposed to wait. The app had it. She was supposed to be in that car and supposed to crash and die right there. But she did not. So she cheated. So she died anyway while walking home. So you find out that this boyfriend goes to the hospital, and while he's in the hospital, he's watching his countdown because he figures that she should have been in the car and should have died there as well. And he proceeds to tell the nurse that that's taking care of him about this app, and he's concerned that he's, from his injuries, he needs surgery in this hospital. And from his injuries, he's not going to survive because he's very convinced that his girlfriend didn't survive because of this app. So if you're the nurse, what do? You download the app. Oh, God. So yeah, she's downloaded the app now, so she's now in doom. And unlike some people who get lucky and the app is, taking your life to 80, 90 years old, which is, very typical, she only has a few days to live as well. So I don't want to, I don't know if I'm spoiling too much here, but obviously bad stuff happens to this guy again. The very disappointing thing here is the deaths here. That one is very similar to the first one. You don't really get to see any blood and guts here. This movie is PG-13, and every time someone dies in this movie, you're kind of reminded of that. And that is definitely a disappointing factor in this movie. There isn't too many spectacular deaths here. There's not a lot of blood and guts. When you've presented something that is going to be killing somebody, you have an opportunity here to do lots of things and do different things. And the first couple of deaths are very disappointing because they're very much in the same manner. And you just don't get to see much. So whereas again, I hate when I end up doing this, but I swing it back to Final Destination. That's all out. You've seen that movie. The deaths are fantastic and super creative. Maybe not every single one of them, but I would say for the series, and at least if you pick any of the movies, there's usually at least 2 or 3 very good deaths with a lot of creativity behind them. And here, the creativity is very lacking, especially in the first couple of ones, and they don't again show anything. So that's hugely disappointing. So I think if you watch any horror movies, you can kind of see what's going to happen here. The nurse then soon believes that this is going to happen to her, so she's now going to try to find a way out of it. So you spend much of the movie of her trying to get out of it. She teams with another guy who also has a countdown with similar time period as her, and they try a couple of different ways to get out of it. And basically, this is I don't want to say a cursed app or something like that. Obviously, it's got its own thing there. So, I'm not going to give away all the secrets here, but I will just say, because it's kind of funny, they incorporate a priest to help them, and he's a pretty funny character, so I guess, that's at least a decent positive for the movie. He's pretty funny in how he sets things up and tries to save them. So I thought he was at least entertaining. But largely here, I think kind of where the story is going. And obviously the countdown is ticking. There is another person involved. Not only the person that she teams up for, but somebody else who also gets involved in it. And she also, has some things going on at the hospital that you think may not be related, but they kind of get dragged into the story by the end. She tries a couple of interesting things to get out of the situation. I at least give them a little bit of credit there. But I thought they missed the boat with the deaths. They could have really, and if you would have then said, oh, well, they're just making another Final Destination, I mean, that's fine. I mean, who hasn't made another Final Destination? I can't think of a movie off the top of my head, but I know there's at least another couple of ones out there that you could have said that followed a very similar formula to Final Destination, and there's nothing wrong with that. Final Destination had its uniqueness in its own, And here you have a chance to do a very similar thing, and a thing that can continue. If this one was a success, I don't remember what it did, how well it was received. But here you have a thing that could very easily make sequels with, if you did it the right way. But I think they really missed the boat. Obviously, again, here we go to the whole teen marketing and that argument and so forth, and making it PG-13. But I think they really missed the boat here to be really creative and really do something with the deaths. But I guess they didn't want to focus on the deaths. They didn't want it to be all about that. They wanted to be more about the story and her solving the thing here with the app and what is wrong, or save herself in time. And obviously it's going to go down to the wire here, because why wouldn't it with a countdown? So with that, the countdown here is over. I'm going to give this one 2 pools of blood. I liked the setup. The story wasn't bad. Kind of typical what you would expect. They created a funny character in the priest. The acting was okay. Nothing terrible there. The girl in it, we've seen her in some other things, so she's all right. So that's not the problem with the movie. And my biggest problem is, obviously, from what I've said now several times, is the deaths and just not giving you enough punch there. So with that, I give it 2 pools of blood because it's lacking blood. And I really think they missed the boat. Wouldn't be surprised if they tried to do another movie, a sequel to this, because it's very easy to do. Set up another story where some people download the app, and here we go again. Why not? I guess in a way, the way it ends, they might leave it where you're thinking there's some finality to it, but again, I think that the door is open there. Anyway, I wouldn't be surprised to see another killer app kind of movie, and I think there is at least one other one that I think of off the top of my head. But anyway, 2 pools of blood, and that's it for this one. More reviews at horrorgoryreviews.blogspot.com, especially written ones. You can find more written ones there if you're looking for those instead of videos. Subscribe to the channel, though, if you want more video reviews, and that's the easiest way to find all the video reviews. Comment section below, agree or disagree on the movie. Let me know, and let me know what you guys are watching if you want me to watch something. Social media is also down below, so you can find me there, and tell me whether you agree or disagree, or what you thought of the movie there as well. And always happy to talk horror, talk movies there as well. So feel free to follow or like the page, and we can talk more horror anytime. So with that, that's the end of this one, and I will catch you on the next review, horror fans.